Hi everybody and welcome to Des and Lauren. We'll be discussing survival beyond the 2 years lull.
And the 2 years lull I spoke about before is where people would go into a lull post the COVID pandemic, where they just carry on with life, forget about all the things that happened to them, all their freedoms that have been restricted, because life is good again. And then, as King Charles said, as Bill Gates said, what will follow will be far worse than COVID-19. They made this clear in speeches they made. So what do they know that the general public or the mainstream media that won't talk about this don't know? What do they know? What do you think they know? And we are talking about what we should be doing to prepare for what is coming next.
And the main thing we should be doing is making sure that we can survive without government or corporate control.
And this survival means staying alive, right?
Yes.
This is not survive as in getting along fine and being able to drive your fancy car and live in your fancy house. This is literally to stay alive. So what do we need to stay alive, Lauren?
It's 5 basic things. There's water, food, shelter, energy, and then the last one, something to keep you sane in difficult times specifically. And those 5 things are in their order for a very specific reason. And unfortunately, we see through load shedding, post-load shedding, the forefront of our problems, especially for business, that corporations and companies are trying to siphon money out of the average consumer to invest in energy when those consumers have not yet invested in water security or food security or shelter.
Yeah, and water security is the most important. So, I mean, the order should be water. And as we know, water infrastructure is crumbling around the country. Most of us live in cities where there's not enough water. So water gets piped from dams or reservoirs far away. And in the city of Cape Town where we live, it's many kilometers away from the city center where we actually get our water from. And if those supplies should get polluted or poisoned or anything like that, we're in a serious fix.
We are, especially with the smart water meters. And then, of course, before energy, you have water first, then food, and then also shelter. So are you able to survive your whole family if you cannot access shops, if shops run out of supplies for whatever reason? Are you able to survive? And then finally, shelter as well. So you'll notice that you should ideally, whatever your living situation, secure temporary water security for yourself and your family, as well as food. And then a lot of us rent or live with family, so we haven't really got shelter securely ours. So you might have to come up with a plan B for a shelter, or if you are able to, if you're privileged enough to invest in some kind of shelter away from a city center, preferably away from a metro municipality, preferably, because in pandemics especially, you do not want to be in a high densely populated area at all.
Exactly. If a pathogen is released on the world's population and you are not able to stay in the metro that you are in, because it'll just be stupid to do that, where will you go? What will you do? And are you prepared for this? Have you thought about it? And this is all part of self-reliant living, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So you'll secure your water, secure your food for your current shelter. Then you'll try secure a secondary shelter that's a bit better for any circumstances or eventualities. Then you'll again start from scratch, water and food on your shelter. And only then, number 4, do we get to energy, finally.
And then we also have our 72-hour packs, which is an emergency happening in an area of fire.
A flood,
or
fire, and earthquake.
Flood, fire, earthquakes, or anything. There could be, petrol tanker with toxic gases in your area, so you can't stay there anymore, for you to be able to leave and be able to have water to drink, food to eat, and have that shelter, stay warm and dry, etc. Those are all important things. And this has nothing to do with being preppers. I actually hate that word prepping because it's being associated with so many nutcases.
It's actually been subverted. The idea of being strong and independent and living free has been subverted by people who are living a certain way to circumnavigate a fictional threat.
Well, besides that, or doomsday scenario,
End of world stuff.
End of world stuff. So the doomsday prophets, and that's certainly not what we are. We want you to be able to enjoy life and to be more free.
And I think it's important to state that the world is not ending systems are ending. And as
Yes.
systems end, things might get difficult. And are you able to survive those difficulties or not? And that's going to be the difference. Having these 5 needs of survival will help you survive anything that is coming in the future.
And these are transitions that are inevitable. They have to take place because the current systems in place, they cannot sustain themselves. So they have already proven that they have to fail. They have to come to a point where we need to create something new from scratch. And the survival needs will be there for those that use them and then survive, and then we can build something from scratch.
And if you just think about all the different scenarios you can get yourselves into, like being stuck in the middle of 2 rocks while rock climbing, anything, being stuck out in the middle of the ocean, being stuck in a traffic jam, trying to escape an earthquake, whatever it is, if you think about the most extreme circumstances you can find yourself in, and then work out what you need to survive, you'll see it will fall into those 5 categories. Why we say something to keep you sane is because when times are tough, people might feel like giving up, or they might panic to such a degree that they become a liability on the people around them trying to survive. So you need to have your headspace right. You need to be able to have something that will give you that mental strength through extreme difficulty, because we don't know what the future holds and what you might have to face. And I'd also love to hear in the comments if anyone has gone and looked at their local government disaster management plan. And if you haven't, then I'd like to challenge you to go do so. Go to your local government website, see if they have a disaster or emergency management section. I know the City of Cape Town does, and have a look at what they have in place. And also try see to what extent they educate citizens.
And talking about education, this is certainly something that we want to do. From this channel, we will be doing Omega training. We will announce it. If you become a member on our Telegram channel, then you can just follow the prompts there. We will be finishing up our level 2 training in this month, and we've already done level 1 training. But the Omega level 3 training, which is the main training that we are providing, that training is for free, and we will start the process for that in September, the application process, and we will announce more details later in this month with regards to that.
Yes, we will. And then this Saturday we're starting with our level 2 workshops, and yeah, we'll put we have already put the advert out on Facebook and on Telegram, so you can go have a look at that if you would like to join. It's not too late to sign up for that. It's happening this Saturday, 6 to 9.
As well as in the community tab on YouTube, so you'll be able to find it in the community tab. And we will do follow-up videos on this. The 5 things that we need for survival need to be done in order. So people that want you to take out loans to put in R500,000 solar systems, make sure you have your water, food and shelter sorted before you look at energy. And also consider that you cannot take your entire solar panel installation with you. I would recommend that you make sure that you can take whatever infrastructure, electricity infrastructure that you have, that you can take it with you. That means portable solar panels, portable power stations, inverters, batteries, or whatever the case may be. They are available on the market today. That is what I would invest in when it comes to 4, which is energy. But make sure you have water sorted first, food sorted next, and then shelter to stay alive.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and put in the comments what you have established in the 5 needs of survival thus far.